All right, I just had to move 3 boats to get this one boat outside. That sounds like I got too many boats, but I don't. You can't have too many boats. You guys remember I did a little poll. I did it on the community thing on YouTube, and I also did a poll on Instagram of what motor I should put on this boat, and it was pretty overwhelming to get a mud motor. So that's what I did. Actually, when I put the poll on there, a buddy of mine, I actually met him through social media, Justice McCain, reached out to me and said he had one that he would sell me. So I told him deal, and I went and got it. It feels like forever ago. It's I want to say it's a 6.5 horsepower Predator. It's a 212cc. And I believe it has a mud skipper kit on it. And y'all know me, I can't leave well enough alone. So I went to Go Power Sports and got a stage 1 kit for the 212cc Predator motor. And that's what I'm gonna be doing today, because I mean, hooking up the motor is pretty easy. I mean, y'all just saw me do it. It had a clamp, and then the motor has the connector on it, and you put it through, tighten the bolt, and you're good to go. Now I am gonna have to swing it around and attach something to the bottom of the boat to be able to strap this thing down so I can haul it down the road. But that should be fairly simple. And I lied to myself and you guys about getting a trolling motor, as I think the last video I said I wasn't going to put a trolling motor on this boat, you know, unless I come across a good deal. And I didn't come across a good deal, but I still bought one. I ended up just getting on, I think, eBay, and it's some weird brand. I'll tell y'all when I get to it. It was a 55-pound thrust, bow mount, hand-controlled trolling motor. So we're going to go ahead and attach it today, and I'm going to make some mounts so I can put it on either side. But like I said, we'll get there in a little bit. First off, we want to put this kit on this motor and see if we can't get it fired up, and then put the mount on it. So let's get to work. All right, so the stage 1 kit came with like a straight pipe with gaskets, a jet for the carb, gaskets, a new air filter cover, and I believe this is an adapter for the air filter. I'm not sure what this is. We'll figure it out. It should be pretty cut and dry. I actually cranked this old motor up in the garage a few weeks ago, and it cranked right up. It wanted some choke, but it could be just because it's been sitting around for a while. So let's go ahead and get started on this. That was a pretty easy little install. I just went by their how-to. I mean, basically all you do is just, you know, take the stock stuff off, take the bowl off of the carb, unscrew the jet, put the new jet in. It come with gaskets in case you tear one of the gaskets from the factory carb stuff. Wasn't nothing difficult about it at all. So, I mean, there's tons of videos out there on doing these little kits on these motors, so I don't really feel like it was worth adding it to the video. So let's see if we can get this thing cranked up. Loud. I might have to fine tune it some. I don't really like the carburetor's got that much adjustment to it. So I mean, that's basically it for this little motor. hopefully it runs good. This exhaust is kind of wonky. If y'all notice how it's all dog leg out to the side. If the motor's straight, it's out of the boat, but if you're gonna make some hard left-hand turns, you're gonna have to be mindful of the boat in the back. But maybe it won't be that big of a deal. I don't know. It's just, I guess these kits are for go-karts, not for mud motors. They might have mud motor specific kits, somebody out there besides Go Power Sports. I didn't see one on their website. This is the only one I saw, so I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comments, but I mean, this is going to work. So, I mean, this little kit probably don't add much, half a horsepower, maybe 1 horsepower at best. But when you're only talking about 6.5 horsepower, that's a pretty big increase. So I'm hoping it pushes this boat pretty good. We'll see. All right, now we need to move on to trying to figure out how to make some kind of bracket for this thing, because obviously you can't have the motor hanging down the back when you're going down the road. So you gotta swing them around and have the shaft of the motor inside the boat. And I got some little D-rings. I think that's gonna work. So that's what's up next. Let's do that real quick. All right, it's the next day. I got a little busy yesterday and had to pull off of the boat. But this is what I was talking about. I just got a D-ring. It comes with a little plate. And I'm just gonna cinch them down with some of these self-tapping little bolts. I painted everything green too, so it'll match. And where the shaft of the motor kind of ends, it's going to be in front of that middle seat. And I'm going to cinch this down where one of the bottom braces are. So it won't just be going through the floor, it'll be going through the brace too to help hold it down. And I'm just going to get like I thought about a bungee strap, but I'll see if I can't find like a real small ratchet strap or something to be able to secure it on there. But I wanted to tell y'all now, because it's pretty windy outside today. So that's what I'm doing. Now you can watch me do it. All right, this trolling motor I picked up is a Haswing. It's a 55-pound thrust, 12-volt trolling motor, and it is a bow mount. I found it on eBay. They actually had it on Amazon too, but it was like, I don't know, $10 cheaper on eBay, and it was free shipping. I've never heard of it before, but it was the cheapest bow mount hand-controlled trolling motor I could find. I can't remember how much it was. I want to say it was like $250. I'll put it down below the correct price. But we'll see. I don't know. The only downfall to how I'm going to attach this thing is it's not going to be able to stow on board as you're going down the road. You'll have to like take it off and like put it in the back of your truck or in the bottom of the boat or something, because it's going to be hanging down or like laying across the bow and sticking out. You'll see once I get it up there. But hoping for the best. The owner's manual doesn't have a whole lot of English to it, so I'm assuming this thing is not made in Detroit. It's printed in China. I'm assuming it's made in China, but it's hard to find anything that's not nowadays. Like I said, I wasn't going to buy one, but I wasn't really thinking how like a regular transamount trolling motor, you can't put it on the bow because everything's going to be facing, your hand control is going to be facing the bow away from you as you're sitting there. So you really need a bow mount specific hand controlled trolling motor. There's not very many of them on the market that I could find, at least. So we'll see how it works out. The way I plan on mounting it, I picked up a foot of aluminum. I think it's 2 inches wide by 3/4 inch thick. I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to put one on each side on the inside towards the bow of the boat. That way, you know, you can mount it on either side depending, you know, whatever suits your needs. I'm going to go ahead and drill from the outside of the boat into the aluminum and just put a couple bolts on. All I'm doing is just fattening it up a little bit and give it a little more beef for the trolling motor to grab a hold of. It shouldn't take a whole lot. I could probably get away with it, but I think What I was worried about is I got them interior lights running right below the lip of the boat, and I don't want them screws end up knocking it off and messing that up. It should be fairly easy little process. And I went ahead and got my adapter plug. That way, if you recall, when I did the electrical, I put that little mount in the front of the boat, and I got the female end of that plug that's going to wire on to the trolling motor leads. So we're going to do those things, and that's going to wrap this video up. Let's get to putting on a trolling motor. Alright, that was a fairly simple little process. Like I said, I wasn't going to put a trolling motor on there or, you know, look for a deal or whatever, but if I take the boat out, I'm probably going to want to fish, and I'm going to want to use the trolling motor. Not to mention, I got a little seat that I think is going to work real well for the front part of this boat that I've had laying around for a little bit. As far as the motor, it's still not wanting to idle, and I did a little research, and where your idle screw is, if you back it all the way out, there's a little piece of black plastic that's actually your idle jet. It's pretty hidden unless you knew what you're looking for. But you take the idle screw all the way out and you pop that jet out and clean it out. So I need to do that. I got a few things to tie up on the boat. I need to do all the touch-up paint. You can probably see the motor needs some touch-up paint on it. I'll probably do a little light scuff on it and shoot it with just some rattle can to get it looking a little better. Well, a big wad of trolling motor wires up front, I'm probably going to zip tie them, clean them up a little bit. I thought about cutting it just real short, but you know, as soon as I do that, somebody that buys the boat will want to you know, not have the trolling motor on it or something, and then I'm stuck with the trolling motor with a real short lead. So I went ahead and left it long. Like I said, I'll kind of loop it up a little bit, clean it up, and zip tie it together so it's not like a big wad of stuff. Got to touch up some paint on the boat, and I got to go get it registered. I've had a bunch of people ask me about doing a video on getting a boat registered in Tennessee, one that doesn't have a whole ID number. So I might do a little quick thing with that on the next video. The next video is going to be me taking it out, but I might go ahead and include that too. Put some transom straps on the back. I got to figure that out. I got some straps the other day from Harbor Freight that I think is going to work. Like I said, it's just a few little odd and ends I got to do before I can actually take the boat out. We got some pretty crappy rain coming tomorrow, and hopefully by the end of this week I'll be able to hit the water somewhere and then see how the old Polar Craft does. It's been a lot of work on this boat. I'm excited to finally wrap it up and get it on the water and see if I can't catch a fish or two with it. Well, all right, guys, I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.